The U.S. Federal Trade Commission is taking legal action against a ticket reselling operation for allegedly using illegal tactics to bypass security protocols and purchasing limits. The government says that violates the Better Online Ticket Sales Act. The agency filed the lawsuit yesterday against the company Key Investment Group, which operates sites like Epic Seats and TotalTickets.com. The FTC alleges that the company used fake accounts to buy more than 379,000 tickets from Ticketmaster for mega popular events like Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, then resold them at extreme markups, making millions in profits. Key Investment Group responded Monday, saying in a statement it will vigorously defend itself and arguing that this case threatens to dismantle the secondary ticket market for live events, consolidating power in the hands of the industry's largest monopoly. For more on this, let's bring in NBC News legal analyst Danny Ceballos to break it down. So walk us through the FTC's lawsuit here and how the FTC claims this company broke the law.
Yeah, essentially, the FTC alleges that the defendant broke the BOTS Act, and you described the longer version of the name, by circumventing these ticket purchase limits. So if only an individual could buy, say, 6 tickets per person, what they're alleging is that they used fake humans, people that didn't exist, fake accounts, and different credit card accounts to buy tickets that avoided this strict limitation. And the FTC alleges that that was a deceptive act that violated the BOTS Act, because all they need to show is that deceptive act under another federal law, and they can get to a judgment. That's what they believe. The companies, however, are going to likely argue that, by the way, if we found a way around these purchase limits, it's not against the law just because we maybe violated their policies. That is what you might see as a defense.
But we should note this company, the Key Investment Group, sued the FTC back in July trying to block this investigation because the company said its purchases don't involve automated software or bots, so that it didn't violate the BOTS Act. The government says there's more to this than that. Explain the BOTS Act here and what it's meant to sort of cover.
So that is a bold statement, because I expect that's the kind of thing that should be relatively easy to prove in the discovery process. In other words, was this purchase from a human? Yes, it was. Well, show me the human. And if they can't show the human, if they can't establish the evidence that this was from a specific person, then arguably the government has gone a long way to proving their allegations, because that's one of the things the BOTS Act prohibits, these kinds of deceptive trade practices. And really, President Trump has made it clear that that's one of his missions, is to go after the secondary ticket market. And really, it occupies a strange space. On the one hand, as you saw the company itself said, you don't want to consolidate all ticketing power in a few different companies. But on the other hand, it's a little disingenuous, because in the secondary market, these companies are not selling for the same ticket price that's on the face of the ticket. They're marking them up massively. And if you look at the complaint, the allegations are profits of millions and millions of dollars.
Why can't we have a secondary company that comes in and sells for less?
Demand. Because market forces, Joe.
That would not be a profitable business model. All right, here's an interesting detail alleged in the lawsuit. The FTC said for one Taylor Swift concert, Key Investment Group used 49 different accounts to purchase more than 200 tickets. So where does this all go from here? When you look at information like that, is it a sign the FTC does have a strong case?
So to me, as this case moves through discovery, I go back to the basic principles, which is these are the kinds of allegations that should be relatively easy to prove one way or another, either for the defendant or for the plaintiff. In other words, if the allegations were that there were all these different accounts that were not tied to individuals, because the key is, at least under the ticketing policies of Ticketmaster, are that you have to actually be a person, and this is your ticket limit per person. Now, did they circumvent that? Did they use people that didn't exist? I expect that'll be relatively easy to prove in the course of discovery, even if we don't know it right now.
All right. Danny Ceballos, as always, thank you so much.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or watch live on our YouTube channel.